Hey, I've not made a video in a little while, so thought I'd make this one. I've been thinking about it for a bit. I've done reviews on my 2015 FJ09 couple of times, little things, but now coming up on 4 years that I've had the thing and almost 30,000 miles. And so I'm just going to talk a little bit about some of the long-term uh, parts of ownership. All right, so the number of really big problems that I've had with it is really, it's absolutely zero. When I first got it, it was like about a week after having it, and it was just felt like just a lot more bike than my 650 was, and I ended up dropping it. And all it did really is it kind of tweaked the steering out of alignment and broke some plastics, but easy fix. It looked a lot worse than it was. Totally my fault, dumbass thing to do, but I've learned since then. I'm not really going to talk about mods. I mean, lots of people ask me about my LED turn signal. Seems like every video I have. I mean, you can find them on Amazon and just about anywhere. I've had them on there for a while. I just didn't like the big old ugly Yamaha ones, and so just get whatever you want. So don't ask me about a link or nothing, because I've had them a long time. The things that I am going to talk about is everything on this, as far as the recalls, has been done. The steering riser, Yamaha, that was the latest thing, and I took that to the Yamaha dealer, and they replaced the riser assembly, because they said that the old one, because of the way that it was painted or whatever, could possibly come loose and whatever. But I mean, I never really had that issue, so they replaced that, and they replaced the cam chain tensioner and the shift linkage, the shift shaft. So anyways, and early on, a lot of people talked about the cam chain tensioner, and there's a lot of there's one by APE. I don't remember what it means, but it's a manual cam chain tensioner, and this one was redone. But really, the whole time that I had it, I heard it rattling like one time, and so then I stopped the bike and I got out my camera and I was gonna record it, so I started it and it never rattled again. So I adjusted it, and basically you take this bolt off, there's an Allen screw in there, and you loosen it and then tighten it, hand tight, and then 1/4 turn. That's what the book says. And so I did that, and the issue has never come back. Only other things that I've done, I've replaced the brake pads. I put on the EBC sintered pads, and I did that mostly because thinking that my rear brakes was worn, because I'd taken several rider skill enhancement courses, and in that, it's the instructors are talking about you want to drag the rear brake. That's all I hear. Turn your head and drag the rear brake. So as it turns out, the new brake pads were exactly 1 millimeter thicker than the old worn out ones, which weren't worn out. So I replaced them anyways, replaced them all, and it was a good chance just to go through the brakes and just look for any kind of leaks and do a good cleaning of the calipers and all that. Only other thing that I had happen, I'm sorry, there's cars zooming by here. Only other thing I had, right about 10,000 miles, my chain, probably about a third or a fourth of the links just all got stiff. And first I noticed it was just making a lot of noise, and then when I turned the back wheel, it would kind of bind a little bit. So I replaced the chain. First I replaced just the chain, because the sprockets, really, they looked okay. It only had 10,000 miles, and it's an EK chain, and so you didn't need a riveter. It comes with its own riveter, sort of. It's just bolts that you tighten, and then you tighten them all the way tight, and then you loosen them a little bit, and then bend the bolt, and it snaps off. And so I did that probably 15,000 miles ago. They've been fine. But about I think I ran the new chain for about a week, and then I ordered the rear and the front sprockets. They're JT sprockets. The first one, the front, I replaced with just the one that it calls for, and it was making a lot of noise, so it was just so I ordered the one for the Yamaha R1, which Amazon says is not the right one for the bike, but everything I researched said that it was. But it's the front sprocket with the rubber, and so it's like way quieter. So I mean, I wear earplugs all the time, but I could notice that it was like night and day, very much louder. So the whole thing altogether, chain and sprockets, was about 150 bucks. I did have to buy I forget the size of the socket, of the impact socket, to take off the front sprocket, but other than that, and a chain breaker, so I had to buy those. But it was actually easier than I thought. But that was the only other issue. Oh, one more thing that I did get changed under warranty is the rear shock. The rear shock, just from washing it and what little rain that I've rode in, I mean, all of the spot welds on it were rusting, and it was looking really bad, like it was going to come apart. I don't know if I can get a I can't really get anyways, it's a rear shock. So I ended up getting that replaced under warranty, and about the same week, then that's when I changed my shock oil. And but other than that, I'm not really going to talk about accessories, because I mean, you guys accessorize your own bike the way you want. My basic thing is having some sort of drop protection, and radiator guard. I mean, you pick whatever you want just to protect the radiator, and a couple extra lights and such. But other than that, it's really pretty much stock. And like I say, I'm coming up on 30,000 miles, and I'm still pretty happy with it. I think if I don't know what I would buy again. I think I wouldn't mind having something that's shaft drive, something where I don't have to, do maintenance on the chain every 400 miles. But other than that, it's been a good bike. I would probably buy it again. I think having the choice, I would probably get the Tracer 900 GT, because the GT comes with the upgraded suspension and a few other nice little things, bags, saddle bags and such, which I've added the top box, the saddle bags. I got that from the dealership when I bought the bike, and it's just been pretty much perfect. Taking it on multiple trips through New Mexico, Texas, Missouri, and of course Arizona. So been a really good bike, and like I say, I would definitely buy another one. Anyways, I just want to keep this short. Have any questions, throw them in the comments. I do read all my comments and answer the ones that need to be answered. So ride safe and stay safe. Take care.